No, these are not potatoes. Believe it or not, these are tomato roots. This is what root knot nematodes can do to your plants, and these nodules basically end up stunting the plants and reducing production. So stay tuned and we'll talk a little bit about what I'm trying to do to resolve this situation in my yard. Okay, so this is gonna be next spring's bed for my tomatoes and peppers, etc. And so the reason I planted marigolds in this bed, just like in the other bed where I put garlic, is that I am trying to control my root knot nematode problem. I have root knot nematode now pretty much in every bed of my garden, and that's just because they've spread and I've really done nothing to control it. And also I've been very sporadic in the past years with my no-dig approach. I have not been as diligent at adding organic matter as I should have been, and I'm basically, since the beginning of this year is when I've pretty much taken it back up and I'm trying to rectify everything. What they say, what you can read about marigolds to prevent root knot nematodes, is you want to grow them and then cut them and rototill them into the soil to help kill the new nematodes. But of course this is not dig, so I want to try a different approach, obviously a no dig approach. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe I will cut them, put them all flat into this bed, and then I'm going to cover it with some of my unfinished compost here. This was my wood chip pile from my other videos, and then after that I'm going to top the whole thing with some composted steer manure, and that's because I'm not going to be planting in this until the spring, so that should give it enough time. There should be enough nitrogen in the manure to help decompose some of the unfinished compost, or at least get it into a better shape. And the marigolds also hopefully will decompose, and all of that organic matter from the marigolds will hopefully help suppress, including the roots, will help suppress the root knot nematodes, at least in the layer that they're in. So I want to see if that method of no rototilling will work. I wanted to show a lot of this is not really a carpet. This is more of a, I don't have plants in every single spot here, but hopefully the roots have expanded enough. Beautiful, no nodules whatsoever. It's good. So actually, not going to plant in this until it's going to be another at least 3, probably 4 months before I put anything in here. The extra nitrogen from the manure will hopefully will wash as it rains. It'll wash down into that bottom layer, and it'll hopefully help to finish decomposing it. And so by the time I plant, I'll be able to just plant straight into this. Normally, you may have seen some of my other videos where I move the mulch aside and I plant into the soil. That's because this material is not finished, so the roots will struggle because this material is nutrient deficient, or it's not nutrient deficient, it's nitrogen deficient when it's not fully decomposed, because bacteria is using up the nitrogen to decompose the material. Once it's fully decomposed, all of that nitrogen is released back. So it needs a lot of nitrogen that's why you need a lot of nitrogen for the hot composting. And so adding a lot of nitrogen into this mix will help decompose this woody material faster. From the research I've done and from what I've read, root knot nematodes don't like organic matter. So aside from the marigolds that are in here, the organic matter is another thing that will hopefully deter them. And from what I've seen, that's true, because even in the infested areas that I have, when I have a thick layer of compost or mulch, the plants tend to spread their roots into that compost, and when I pull them up, I see any roots that were in the compost layer usually are clean, while only the ones that go deep down seem to show effect. So, it'd be nice if over time, from the excessive amount of organic matter and all that kind of stuff, it would put those root knot nematodes in check. When you have good soil life and a good balance, what that promotes is just the right ratio of predator and prey. So what ends up happening is that you'll have a lot of beneficial nematodes that could develop and start attacking and eating the bad nematodes, the root knot nematodes. So the ultimate thing to want to achieve is really that balance, because then basically you don't really have to worry about pests if you get to that point. Everything is sort of in check. It's with insect life, it's with soil ecology and soil life. It's with everything. Like, for example, I don't know if you remember, I did a video, one of my update videos, where I was showing a lot of damage on my broccoli from the caterpillars, the white moth caterpillars. And I've started seeing a bunch of little birds that kind of, every morning they come in, they swoop in, and they just kind of hang out right around the broccoli, and I see them pecking around, and I'm pretty certain that they're eating the caterpillars, because I see way less damage. I mean, there's still some damage, but I have not been picking any of them for weeks, and I feel like at the rate they were going, they would have completely destroyed the whole thing. But yeah. Alright, well, that's it. I'm going to be doing another video in the future in more detail about root knot nematodes, and I'll continue to share my progress, but I have a good feeling that this strategy is going to work, just because with the preliminary tests of just planting marigolds in and around tomatoes, I have noticed that there has been a reduction in the amount of nodules that I observe on the roots. So yeah, I'll stay tuned, and I'll keep giving updates on this. Thanks for watching.